Well, I got this one really valuable Instagram reel, and it gave some real insight on how AI companies program the products to maximize the amount of time that people spend on it, use the tools, and keep paying for a subscription for something that you believe in is superior to you and you're actually fetching insights from. Now, what bullshit reel must I have come across for this conclusion, you may ask? I mean, come on, whenever you use like tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever, you're seeing something really wild. Once you start talking to it about something, it makes the conversation flow so well that you start feeling something. Yeah, the AI bros in the comments will make jokes on my social skills, but please hear me out. So, just a few days back, I did something. I got an idea and went on an experiment with this tech piece, and it was about what would happen if Noble Team from Halo popped up in outbound flight and helped them escape from Thrawn. Maybe the AI bros are right, but let's go deeper. Now, what I did was I expanded on this lore for science, and I did have a simple framework on how the story would progress and what any dumb guy would, and did what any dumb guy would, and just sent the entire framework of this entire tale, and then I'm like, okay, let's see what this thing says. And it ended up going on for a pretty long time until I was like way exhausted and had to go take a nap. And the thing was, the story was actually pretty good, and it started to bother me because I spent around 6 hours on this. But look at this, I used AI to plan my days too during JE prep, and I could not differentiate between it sweet talking me and what was actual advice or value. And just keep this in mind because we'll dive into a little deeper. Now, we'll come back to this random reel I found. It was of a young college student where he explained about how AI companies operate, because it doesn't make it sound any better than doom scrolling on Instagram or something, because it's what it is. It's exactly similar to that, and their responses by such intelligent beings is so wild actually, because every response is selectively chosen to make the user feel good about themselves. And hold on, I think this is better. Think about it. I mean, like, it's used to make us feel really good about ourselves and our intelligence. And think about it. I mean, when was the last time these AI models kind of disagreed with you or did not flatter you? But also at the times when it disagreed with you, it sends a next question. Like, especially when you text a chat GPT, it literally gives you a next question for a follow-up conversation. And now, because why does this work? And it's because there's this process in AI training called RLHF, which is reinforcement training from human feedback, where AI generates whatever it wants and humans pick the best answer. But you ask, what's wrong? I mean, come on. Doesn't this uh, isn't the process required to make sure the AI stops worshipping itself and starts acting along our human values, because and becoming more personalized for the user as the time progresses, and then using that trust to feed you exactly what you want to hear, products you need at the exact moment, and telling you things about yourself without you ever realizing about the matter. And I'm surprised not many notice this, but isn't it wild that AI came into the wider market almost immediately after one of the most traumatic events we humans have collectively faced together? And people chronically were online, couldn't eat without YouTube, and couldn't go to take a dump without Instagram Reels, and for whatever purpose. And guess the companies that are running the show here: Meta, Google, Nvidia, and now OpenAI, Anthropic, or whatever AI company that just pops up. Meta and Google are the masterminds of modern social media. Come on, who doesn't know this? And don't be surprised when it's figured out by people that the exact same soft set of people are being paid in six figures to make the same Instagram algorithm you doom scroll to work on these AI models and the ones who give the feedback. And now is basically what this basically means that whatever tools you're sharing, whatever information you're sharing with these tools is all being cycled in to train these AI models, even if you opt out, and remembering everything and creating a profile all about you, passions, interests, and desires, and will tell you solutions to whatever problems you face or are going to face by showing your product, which is recommended thanks to some advertiser paying for it. And maybe seriously questioning about what I must have stumbled upon, but there's a Guardian article on this matter too. And just as what I said could be outlandish or dystopian, but it's fair enough, but not after the current announcement by OpenAI about bringing advertisements to ChatGPT, and Google and Meta have already been doing this. Now, how would this new iteration of the attention economy work? Well, according to the speculation offered by the Guardian article, that speculates AI chatbots could be used to serve hyper-targeted ads and nudge you into committing actions like buying a film ticket for you when you've had a bad day at work. But it doesn't sound that bad now, but add this when you're deciding between election candidates and yeah. So basically all the slop you generate, everything you tell the AI from your homework to how you're feeling, it's taken in by all these companies, and because running them in these giant data centers and paying those engineers is not cheap, the company needs to profit soon. And how would they do that? They'll need to sell out to the highest bidder. And well, how can I assume this? Well, OpenAI is running on a loss of a couple $1 billion, and to prevent a Theranos-like situation where they have completely defrauded the investors, they would need to recover these costs somehow, and that's where those aforementioned introduction of ads come in, by displaying ads without them sounding like ads. And OpenAI might not be overall winner here, but it would be friends at Google and Meta who are actually straight up masterminds of this game and would be holding up auctions and champagne parties by selling your data off. And if you're an engineer for one of these, it doesn't matter if you're an engineer of one of those companies or just another dude. Profit is profit. How does Nvidia benefit from all this? Well, they serve the compute part of the equation, supplying all these graphics cards and that are required to do the massive amount of math to generate a message to comfort you after you've cheated on your wife, or inside any AI slop content here. It's literally why all graphics cards are expensive and we can't play games with them. And now even our RAM is being held against us. Well, let's get back from a little rant here, because the internet has a whole lot of data lying around. And how does AI know what to answer from over the possibly millions of answers lying around in their dataset? Well, as most AI tools require RLHF to get trained on fresh data, these companies realize that this would get way too expensive, as they now would have to hire and pay dedicated professionals in their specialized fields and provide feedback on the information the AI is scraping. That would be pretty pricey, right? And yeah, guess what they did? Just as the entry boom into software engineering, they straight up outsourced it. Straight up. And it's been outsourced to some company that hires these experts on a per project basis, like a gig worker, and prices the services at such a low cost that only the somehow CEO benefits financially, and everyone gets paid less than minimum wage. And that's only in the US. From this not perfect there is one YouTube video, I'll link it down. While in other third world countries, it's bordering around the lines of institutional slavery. And the freakiest part of this is that the tech companies laying off workers because of AI, and then these subcontractors are then hiring these laid off workers at a fraction of their worth. Like, if you're being paid like six figures at the software company, you're kicked out, and now you are hired for like what? Let's about a couple $100, like let's say $50 for this project, and then next project would be 30, and then like and if the employer or the engineer questions it, they're ghosted straight up, and then they come up with an offer which gives them less than, like, so you got $100, you're like, now I need 200, and the company straight up ghosts you and then comes back and it's like 50, take it or leave it. It's straight like that. And this time they cannot decline it because they'd be slowly be pushed to a position where they might have no work or have to work for free. So they accept this for the sake of cash flow. And now about the fact that AI is everything, well, they've been saying that they will take over humanity for the last 18 months, and I don't think they've taken over humanity because I'm still here. This video is not AI generated, so I think we're pretty safe. And though seldom carried out, wait, where am I? Yeah. And there have been cases where these AI companies have completely falsified reports on how well their model operates. So it's like it could be a case like, well, you can prompt ChatGPT to be like, hey, think for yourself, and think is like, I'm thinking, and then it's like, and the AI engineers are like, bro, look, this thing is thinking for itself, and boom, $300 billion in shareholder value increase, peak. And those seldom carried out, or maybe it's a common practice, makes the average employee feel that they're always replaceable. And this is the point of view of these AI companies, which started out with somehow increasing the demand of the product by to spike up their own shareholder value. And then these other companies realize, oh my, wait a minute, what, this trick kind of works, and they follow this trend mainly to save face and increase shareholder value, especially if they're downsizing or having any internal issues. So straight up save face, and which actually hits especially in the employees, both existing and especially new ones, because it straight up nukes the morale, and then they straight up have an excuse to now pay these employees less because the entire narrative is set up that you are replaceable by an AI machine, deal with it. Now, regardless of the presence of employees from third world countries, one thing even developed nations cannot save themselves from is the data center sprawl, consuming every little resource from small communities all over the world. And we have already seen the impact of this. We have to pay a higher electricity bill, experience water shortages. Basically, profit is mine, the problem is yours. Our problem, my profit. Yeah, it's just wild. And why am I so negative on this? I'm just laying the facts about without the occasional defense contracts. These companies have no other way to make money other than the way from coming from pro subscriptions, which honestly has shown that it doesn't work. And I'm just saying this because it's not like Meta and Google are going to be doing this for the first time. But such predictive technologies actually have a benefit in medicine, in engineering, manufacturing, therapy, space and ocean exploration, film, design, art. And the technology isn't bad. This tech can actually be used to cure cancer and help in eradicating poverty. But unfortunately, not by the current players in the field, not by those who directly benefit from using this technology to nudge you into buying the pro subscription or a service or a product you're gaslighting into believing you need. And about the employees,